Welcome back to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Combo, episode number 66. The conversation I want to get into today, with the decision that Canelo Alvarez has chosen, is he looking more like a businessman than a boxer? Let's get into a few short clips on what he had to say in the thoughts of Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, and also what he had to say in not facing Jermell Charlo and David Benavidez.
While I'm busy, but you know, a lot of fans, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, they feel like Benavidez is the best fight. Do you?
I don't care. I don't care what they feel.
Will it happen before you retire?
At the end of the day, no makes sense for me, right? They don't have nothing to offer me.
Do you think it'll happen before you retire, though, Canelo? If he keeps winning?
Yeah, maybe.
First question, you had a lot of offers. You could have gone many different directions. You could have fought a lot of different people. You chose this deal with Bivol and then Golovkin. Why?
Because I like the idea to go 175 and fight the second best fighter in that division, champion. For me, it's continue make history.
I think I heard a comment from you a couple of days ago. Do you wish other fighters, whether it's Charlo, Benavidez, whoever it is, that don't get to fight you immediately, do you think they need to make their own history?
It's don't really, I wish. I really don't care. But sometimes everybody, you guys, ask so much, hey, you need to fight with Canelo. Why they don't fight each other? And I fight the winner of all of them.
So you heard what Canelo said. He said he basically don't care what anybody thinks about the decision that he made to fight Dimitri Bivol and Triple G. You know, my main focus on this video is he looking more like a businessman or a boxer? At this point, I think he's looking more like a businessman. Yes, he's saying something about history. You know, I agree with him in certain forms of fashion. I'll discuss that later on in the video. But I do not agree with Canelo totally if you're talking legacy-wise. Business-wise, you know, take the easier route to get probably the same amount of money that you probably was going to make or close to what you was going to make with the PBC deal. So I would rather take the easier route when you're talking business. But if you're talking legacy, I take the harder fights. So you can kind of see where I'm going with agreeing with him, but not agreeing with him. And I agree with him also with I had a video drop yesterday on a video with David Benavidez making his own mark and choosing to fight each, Jermell Charlo, Caleb Plant, and Dimitri Boo Andrade. I think that's a really positive thing that I'm hearing from David Benavidez, and I think all boxers that's chasing the Canelo fight needs to take the same route, because you just never know if this guy's going to pull the trigger and actually take a dangerous fight. Bivol is a decent fighter. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know his whole history of fighting, and I watched a ton of fights on this guy. But I'm assuming that Canelo will probably either go the distance with him in a tough fight, or he's going to just knock him out. I think that Canelo, the fighters that he's fighting, it's just leading me more to thinking that he's just taking an easier route out as far as getting his money, staying safe, and just like I said, when you retire, you want to retire with everything that you came into boxing with, as far as your motor skills, your talking ability to spend time with your kids and your wife. You don't want to grow old and not be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So as a business, I can see what he's doing, but as far as legacy, as a fan, especially as a fan, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only fan, or other boxers even has called him out, especially legends like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Me personally, I would want to listen to guys like that, because they've been there, done that. They faced a lot of champions, a lot of not just champions, but tough guys. And not to say that Triple G is not a tough guy, not to take anything away from Dimitri Bivol, but I think those guys are tough. But it's not the fight that theoretically he should probably be taking. I think that is an easier route. And if you don't care about the opinions of the fans, if you don't care about the opinions of older legends that they've been there, done that, that means that you're looking more out for the easier route to get the money that you're looking for. And like I say, I give Canelo all the credit in the world. All the work he has put into the sport of boxing to build his, to build everything that he has between him and his team is amazing. it really is. It truly is amazing. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I said this on another video about Canelo too. It's almost like the same subject, but it's more of an extended version. So if he does beat Triple G and Dimitri Bivol, and he come out unscathed or whatever, and then he decide to say, hey, look, okay, that Jamal Charlo may be showing me something that makes me want to fight him, and also David Benavidez, he's showing me something with fighting everybody else, so now I can move to fight him. That's a totally different conversation. But do I think he'll take it? If I had to put my money on it, I wouldn't put my money on Canelo to actually take those big fights. Like I say, Canelo is a great fighter. There's nothing, that I think that's what would make me stop being a fan of his. But as a fan, I still want to see him fight the most dangerous guys. I'm a fan of his based on his skills and all that stuff inside the ring. But and I respect his business sense too. I think he took a lot of notes from Floyd Mayweather. I think he took a lot of notes from boxers that came out of the game with a high level of damage, and they got to spend their more money on more doctor's appointments than actually enjoying the fruits of their labor. So like I say, I don't know. I think it both, to me, everybody, even Oscar De La Hoya, like I say, some of my clips go to fighthype.com. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I'm gonna give them their respect. They ask tough questions. They don't really hide anything. So if you want to see the whole interview, go to fighthype.com, and you can make an assessment for yourself. But I think that even with Oscar De La Hoya, that whole interview was great because he actually said that I see what he's doing. He kind of the same thing that I'm kind of iterating in my own words. But it was anybody with common sense would say, hey, look. And that means you guys too. You could be a fan or whatever. We can all think the same thing, but put it in our own little way. We can always look at one situation differently than somebody else, or look at it the same. But he was saying that he wished that Canelo would have took the Jamal Charlo fight. He feel like Jamal Charlo was deserving of a fight with him, and even though Jamal Charlo had peaked late in his career, but he's still deserving of a chance to actually fight one of the biggest and baddest guys out here in Canelo Alvarez. And also, like David Benavidez, I'm thinking the same thing about him. He's starting to show, but I feel like with David Benavidez, he has to get in there with a Caleb Plant. He has to get in there with Andre or something like that. And also for the same thing with Jamal Charlo. I think all of those guys, no matter who come out on top, all of those guys have to challenge each other. And if you want to really back Canelo into a corner, sometimes public perception will put a lot of pressure on you. And I think that they could do that. And the only way for them to do that is to fight each other. So Canelo Alvarez is absolutely right when it comes to that. And I would not care about if somebody wanted to, the way they treated their legacy or whatever they're doing. So I get where he's coming from. I can almost understand why he's taking the lesser opponents or more of an easier route when you talk about business. But as a boxer, his legacy, all of that stuff to me is being affected by what he's doing. But some fans may, hardcore Canelo fans ain't gonna see it that way. They think, I've seen in the comments before on certain videos I did about him choosing the Dimitri Bivol and Triple G. They said that Dimitri Bivol would probably be better than the Charlo fight. So it's all perception. And some people ain't gonna see the world in the same manner, so it's okay. But for me, I know for a fact in my heart that I know that Charlo and also David Benavidez and Demetrius Boo Andrade, they will be tougher challenges than an old Triple G. And nobody knows what Bivol is gonna come into the ring with. You can act like you do all you want to. I seen on some other people's channels where they were saying that Dimitri Bivol can give him a hard time. I don't really see it. I just think Canelo is like night and day over a lot of these guys that he's facing. So I would say he's looking more like a business guy and a real good businessman too. Because like I say, at the end of the day, nobody ain't gonna pay you like you pay yourself. And he's in a position to where he's paying himself. He's getting the deals that he wants to. He don't have to. He's not obligated to follow some loan contract and be unhappy with it and start taking $3-4 million here and there. I think the biggest thing that he did was he did face Floyd Mayweather with a loss. He fought Shane Mosley when he was older. Miguel Cotto, and he had some pretty good fights. And Austin Trout, that was a really good fight. So I give him his credit with certain fights like that. But the fights that he has been facing, the fighters that he's been facing in the last, maybe the last 3-4 years, I'm just like, Caleb Plant was probably maybe the toughest, even though he knocked him out. But considering the fact of what he was facing and the Caleb Smith and all those guys, I had to say that Caleb Plant was probably the toughest fight that he has faced in maybe the past 2 or 3 years. But other than that, like, like I say, business-wise, it makes sense about what he's doing. But legacy-wise, I can't agree with it. I agree with both sides, but if I'm looking at legacy, I cannot put Canelo. I have to put him on the top. Top of the pound for pound list. But as far as legacy or whatever, I'm not real high on him. That should be understandable from my point of view. You guys may see it different, but I'm not real high on his legacy part, and especially the way it's ending. Time don't stand still for anybody. You do get older in the sport of boxing, and I think that Canelo, business-wise, like I said, I keep giving him his praise. I keep saying in this video, he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. I have to give it to him. But legacy-wise, I can't agree with the moves that he's making. I do think that David Benavidez and them, they need to continue on their own course, because this fight may never happen. Canelo may never ever face one of those guys. He may even move up to heavyweight. For all I know, I mean, it might be something crazy that he'd see up there. Even though certain things is history, and I know a lot of people put emphasis on fighting champion after champion after champion in different weight classes, unifying. But it's the type of champions that you have. You have the hard-nosed champions, then you have champions that just almost basically appear out of nowhere. And I'm not gonna lie, I ain't never really heard of Dimitri Bivol, as much as I have in the last maybe 3 years. I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. But I wish Canelo well, his team well, and every other boxer well. I hope to see we get the best fights that we could possibly get. But you guys, let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments below. That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Convo, episode number 66. You guys let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments below. Just want to thank you guys like I do each and every single video. Without you guys, I wouldn't have the same type of motivation to make my content even better and better and better each time I produce it. So thank you guys. Also, if you like the video, leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you guys won't miss out on upcoming videos on my channel. With all that out of the way, just want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Convo.